Hello everyone, this is Yoko. On this channel, I will be disseminating information that I have collected in English, as I feel that the information that is happening in China is often not accurately conveyed to countries other than China. We obtain information from multiple media sources, so we would be happy if you could give us your opinions on the content of the video in the comments. Also, my native language is not English, so I use an AI speaker to create audio to convey information correctly. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel and support us. In the video the other day, I talked about the tremor that is shaking the medical industry in China. It's a story about going back 20 years to pursue fraud. This time, I would like to introduce an investigation into similar fraud in another industry. In the medical industry, there are many opaque exchanges of money. For example, large amounts of bribes are often given to those who have decision-making authority when building hospitals or purchasing testing equipment. There are cases where they have actually been exposed. Retired key personnel in the medical industry are terrified. Another industry is going through another quake. They are people who are said to be professionals such as lawyers and certified public accountants. This is the story of a medical product manufacturer. There is still a pharmaceutical manufacturer with the same name, but the current company is a company that underwent corporate reorganization, so the organization is different from what it was then. This company mainly sells Chinese herbal medicine and health foods, but it committed fraudulent accounting from 2016 to 2018. Its scale is about 30 billion yuan. It became a very big problem because it is a huge amount of about 600 billion yen when converted to Japanese yen. By the way, it seems that the accounting fraud was so complex that it would only be possible to understand it without specialized knowledge. It is said that if you read the accounting report with a little care, you could understand completely what was wrong with it. For example, a company had hundreds of billions of yuan in cash, and even though they had it in bank deposits, they had a large amount of debt. And since you're depositing cash, there are interest payments. However, the company pays more interest on the loan. If so, it would be more rational to use the cash you have in large amounts to pay off your debts. Despite this, we pay a lot of debt even though we have cash. Although the accounting report states that the company has a huge amount of cash, it has been reported that questions have arisen as to whether this cash really exists. Why were you doing this? The president of this company was trying to sell out his personal stock in the company. And you actually sold a lot of stock. In other words, after inflating the company's stock price through accounting fraud, he was thinking of making a huge fortune by selling his shares. After building up his personal assets, he didn't care what happened to the company, so he was planning to deceive shareholders and make a lot of money. I was doing fraudulent accounting in a rough way, but it didn't come to light for several years. Accounting fraud is also a crime in China, so it was a criminal case. Since this company is a stock company, it also caused losses to investors, so a civil trial was also held to compensate the investors for the losses. In such cases, the company's management is naturally responsible. That's not all. China also has an audit system, so there are accounting firms that sign the accounting reports. As of 2021, the accounting firm has been fined more than 40 million yuan. In Japanese yen, it would be over 800 million yen. Not only the firm but also the individual accountant who signed the document was fined 100,000 yuan. In Japanese yen, it is about 2 million yen. The story doesn't end here. A civil lawsuit will follow. If a company engages in accounting fraud, its stock price will plummet when it becomes obvious. A civil lawsuit has been initiated against the person responsible for the fraudulent accounting, and a judgment has been reached for damages of 2.459 billion yuan. This is the responsibility of the company's management, but the accounting firm that signed the accounting report and the accountant who signed the report were also jointly and severally liable, and enforcement was first carried out against the accounting firm. The accounting firm was previously fined 40 million yuan, so the accounting firm is now running out of money. As a result, In 2022, the accountants themselves, rather than the accounting firm, will be held jointly and severally liable for 2.5 billion yuan, and there are plans to begin compulsory enforcement. 2.5 billion yuan is equivalent to about 50 billion yen in Japanese yen. It is impossible for an accounting firm to pay this fee, and it is also impossible for an individual accountant to pay it, but if you are a partner accountant at a large accounting firm, you are likely to have some personal assets. However, the accountant appealed because he had already personally paid the fine. A Chinese court made the decision. In the end, individual accountants were also jointly and severally liable. This applies not only to the accountant who signs the financial report, but also to the directors of the company. China has independent directors. If the company is taken private by the management family, shareholders may suffer losses, so people who are required to maintain strict independence join the management team as outside directors to prevent managers from doing whatever they want. Therefore, there is a system in place to monitor managers to prevent them from doing anything they want. An independent director is a type of outside director, but it's not a job that just anyone can serve. It's a job that naturally requires people who are knowledgeable about accounting and law. This is usually someone who knows the industry well, such as a lawyer or accountant. However, it is said that it is doubtful whether this system really works. After all, it is the company that makes the appointment. Sometimes they don't audit management very strictly. There have been cases of fraudulent accounting in Japan in the past. If this were to happen in China, there would be many people signing accounting reports even though they knew it was fraudulent accounting. And there must be a lot of independent directors who don't say anything at board meetings. They get paid well every year. The independent regulators and the people who conducted the accounting audits are also very scared because there is a possibility that they will be held jointly and severally liable for damages. China's economy is deteriorating, and if a company that would never go bankrupt if its accounting reports were correct suddenly goes bankrupt, accounting fraud is suspected and fraud is discovered. Therefore, managers and those involved in accounting reports may be sued for huge amounts of damages, and from now on, it is difficult to sleep at night with peace of mind. That's all for now. See you next time.